You're standing in your bedroom and the closet doors are just wide open.
Right.
And there are like garments crammed onto every single inch of the clothing rack. I mean, drawers are literally overflowing.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Right. But you just stare into this absolute sea of fabric and think, I have absolutely nothing to wear.
It's a profound paradox, really.
Yeah.
You're looking at this massive mountain of choices, but you feel completely devoid of options. It's this feeling of scarcity right in the middle of extreme abundance.
Exactly. And today our mission is to basically reverse engineer that exact moment of panic.
I love that.
Yeah, we're taking that chaotic stressor, the thing you call a closet, and transforming it into this highly streamlined, functional tool.
Which is so needed.
Totally. And we're basing this entire deep dive on a really comprehensive 2026 playbook. It's titled, How to Conduct a Professional Wardrobe Audit.docdex.
Yeah, it's a fantastic source.
It really is. This is essentially the exact methodology that professional stylists use to, rescue their clients from closet chaos. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
We all have these overstuffed closets. Why do we keep accumulating so much stuff when actively makes our mornings miserable?
Well, to solve the physical mess, we first have to unpack the psychological trap, right?
Okay.
Because we live in this relentless, incredibly fast-paced fashion environment today, and the friction to purchase clothing has essentially dropped to zero.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true.
Right. I mean, you see an ad on your feed, you click once, and boom, a shirt is on its way to your house.
It's almost too easy.
Exactly. This hyperconvenience completely bypasses our critical thinking, and it leads to just constant impulsive buying.
Right.
But the cost isn't just financial. When you pack your closet with items you rarely wear, you're actively creating this massive cognitive burden for yourself every single morning.
Yeah, the source material actually refers to this as decision fatigue, which really clicked for me.
It's a great term for it.
It really is. Think about your brain like a web browser.
Okay.
If you wake up and you walk into a closet that has, say, 100 open tabs like clothes that don't fit right, or, a sweater from 10 years ago, jeans with the tags still on.
Oh, the tag's still on. The worst.
Right.
Yeah.
It just drains your processing power before you've even had your coffee. You're spending all this precious mental energy just sorting through all that visual noise just to find the signal.
That is a highly accurate way to frame it.
Uh.
Every single time your eyes land on an item you can't or won't wear, your brain still has to process it.
Yeah.
It evaluates it, and then it rejects it. And that burns willpower.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
And an optimized wardrobe entirely eliminates that morning decision fatigue.
Yeah.
Because when every single item fits well, coordinates easily, and actually aligns with your personal style, choosing an outfit becomes completely effortless.
Like a reflex.
Exactly. It's a reflex rather than this daily stressful negotiation.
And it goes way beyond just saving 5 minutes in the morning. The ripple effects of this are pretty massive.
Oh, absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, keeping only useful pieces isn't just a personal productivity hack.
Right.
It's a deeply critical, eco-friendly practice. By gaining total clarity on what you actually own and utilize, you dramatically reduce your rate of consumption.
Because you're not constantly buying new things.
Precisely. You stop buying duplicate items because you already know you have the perfect black sweater. You curb those impulsive, trendy buys.
Right.
And on a macro level, this directly combats global textile waste. We're seeing modern style communities and tech-forward platforms like Apparelizer, for example, really pushing this concept.
Yeah, Apparelizer's doing some cool stuff.
They really are. They're helping individuals realize that rigorous wardrobe management doesn't just make you look better.
Yeah.
It actively promotes a more sustainable global lifestyle.
So by curing our own morning headaches, we're actually kind of helping solve the fast fashion crisis. That brings a lot of weight to the process. It's not just tidying up. By reviewing the data of what we actually wear, we can finally see the patterns, in colors and fabrics and silhouettes that truly represent who we are.
It's very revealing.
It is. But man, the source material is pretty intense about how you start this process.
Oh, the purge.
Yeah. The very first mandate is to completely empty the closet. Drawers, storage boxes, the dark corners, everything comes out and gets dumped into a massive pile.
Right. Because it's about confronting the physical reality of your consumption.
Okay.
You really need to see the sheer volume of what you own all at once without the neat boundaries of the closet doors to sort of hide it.
Okay, now I've got to push back on this a little bit.
Go for it.
Taking literally everything out sounds like a recipe for absolute disaster. Like, why do we have to create a terrifying mountain of clothes on the bed?
Because
What if I just get overwhelmed halfway through and end up like sleeping on the couch for 3 days? Can't you just slide the hangers around on the rack and audit things section by section?
it's funny. That is the most common objection stylists hear. But sliding hangers around is exactly how the closet became an unmanageable problem in the first place.
Wait, really? How so?
Because over time, your brain builds up visual habits. When you look into your closet day after day, you learn to completely ignore certain items.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they literally become wallpaper. You don't even see that unworn blazer from 2018 anymore. It's just background noise.
So by physically removing everything from its normal habitat, we're basically breaking our own visual blindness.
Exactly.
We're forcing our brain to process the clothes as completely new information.
Precisely. Seeing everything together in a giant contextless pile immediately exposes the unnecessary clutter in a way that, well, sliding hangers simply never will.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, and once you've broken that illusion, you move into the diagnostic phase,
Right.
which is sorting everything into distinct, granular categories. Tops, pants, formal wear, outerwear, right down to the shoes and accessories.
So sorting them into piles is basically taking an x-ray of your closet. It shows you exactly where the fractures are.
That's a great way to put it.
The source highlights a really great example here. You might sort everything and suddenly realize, hey, I own 15 black t-shirts, but I don't own a single pair of versatile neutral pants to wear them with.
Yes. And you simply cannot see that imbalance when those 15 black shirts are, like, scattered across the laundry basket, 2 different drawers, and the back of a hanging rack.
Yeah, they're just everywhere.
Exactly. Categorization turns your messy pile into undeniable data. The duplicates are glaring, and the gaps become totally obvious.
Wow. Okay, so once the shock of seeing 15 black shirts wears off, we hit the hardest part.
The evaluation.
Yeah. The source frames this next phase as a ruthless evaluation. You basically have to pick up every single item and pass it through a very strict gauntlet of questions.
And the professionals use 4 non-negotiable criteria for this.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
First, yes, does it fit properly right now? If it pinches, pulls, sags, or, requires you to hold your breath, it's out.
Goodbye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Style shouldn't sacrifice comfort, and uncomfortable clothes just end up sitting on hangers anyway.
True.
Second, have you worn it in the past year? Third, does it match your current image? And fourth, is it damaged beyond simple repair?
So based on how an item survives those questions, it goes into one of 3 piles, right?
Exactly 3.
You've got the keep pile for the heavy rotators that fit perfectly, then the donate pile for things in good condition that just aren't you anymore, and the discard pile for the torn, stained, unsalvageable stuff.
Right.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The mechanics of sorting seem easy, right? But the psychology behind why we hold onto the donate pile is just fascinating.
Oh, it's a huge hurdle for people.
The source warns really heavily against keeping clothes for unrealistic fantasy outfits.
Yeah, the just-in-case mentality is a massive trap. People hold on to a sequined ball gown for an imaginary gala they might attend like 5 years from now.
Yeah, right.
Or they keep a pair of jeans from college, hoping to, aggressively diet their way back into them.
It's like your closet becomes this bizarre time machine that's just weighing you down.
That is exactly what it is.
You're holding on to past versions of yourself or these highly fictionalized future versions of yourself instead of just dressing the person standing in the room today.
What's fascinating here is the underlying psychology of that 1-year rule we mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't worn a piece in a full 12 months, it has missed every single season, every holiday, and every weather condition.
Wow, when you put it like that.
Right. That means your daily realities, your career, or your aesthetic have evolved without you fully acknowledging it.
That's deep.
It is. Refusing to let go of those unworn clothes is essentially a psychological refusal to accept who you are today. Stylists insist that every item in your closet must earn its rent by providing value and confidence to your current self.
And part of letting go is also fighting the sunk cost fallacy, right? Like, you look at a jacket you wore maybe twice and think, but I paid $200 for this.
Oh, the guilt is so real.
But the truth is, that money is already gone. Keeping the jacket in your closet doesn't put the money back in your bank account. It just adds this daily tax of guilt every time you look at it.
Exactly. The guilt is an entirely unnecessary emotional toll.
Yeah.
Another major trap that professional audit warns against is the relentless pursuit of short-term trends. Fast fashion conditions us to buy pieces that are highly recognizable and very specific to a microscopic cultural moment.
Like those neon bucket hats or whatever.
Exactly. But the problem is, those items look completely outdated within 6 months. The alternative, and really the core of the keep pile, is timeless fashion.
Which brings us to the actual rebuilding phase. So you've purged the fantasy outfits, you've conquered the guild, and you're left with this highly refined collection of
Like the
survivors.
best of the best.
Right. And this is where professional stylists introduce what's called a capsule wardrobe.
Yes. A capsule wardrobe is the ultimate antidote to decision fatigue. It's a tightly curated collection of timeless, interchangeable items.
Interchangeable being the key word there, I imagine.
Absolutely. The fundamental goal isn't just to own fewer things,
Hmm.
It's to maximize the mathematical combinations of what you do own.
Okay, let's actually break down the mechanics of how that works, because the source specifically calls out these workhorse essentials.
Basics.
Yeah, we're talking about a crisp white button-down shirt, a tailored neutral blazer, dark wash denim, high-quality basic t-shirts, black trousers, and like classic footwear. Why are these specific items so powerful?
It really comes down to visual neutrality and structural versatility.
Okay.
A navy or camel blazer, for instance, acts as an anchor. It doesn't scream for attention, which means it can easily pair with a white t-shirt and jeans for a casual Friday, or it can seamlessly transition over a formal dress for an evening event.
Oh, I see.
Bold, highly patterned items are liabilities. They only work with one or two other specific garments. But neutral, classic basics are assets. They unlock dozens of permutations.
That's crazy to think about.
It is. If you have just 5 versatile tops, 3 neutral bottoms, and 2 classic jackets, you don't just have 10 items. You have 30 distinct outfit combinations.
Wow. It's like having a set of interlocking building blocks instead of a puzzle where only one specific piece fits into another.
Exactly.
And once you line up your interlocking blocks, you can finally see exactly what's missing. Because you did that ruthless purge earlier, the gaps in your wardrobe become totally obvious.
They really do.
You might realize, hey, I have great professional wear, but my casual weekend layering pieces are totally non-existent.
And identifying those gaps is the bridge between auditing and maintenance.
Right.
Once you know exactly what is missing to complete your combinations, you transition from being a reactive consumer to a strategic investor.
I love how the source approaches this. Once you identify the gaps, you have to make a highly targeted shopping list. Yes.
The strict list.
Think about it like making a grocery list for a specific really complex dinner recipe, right? If you wander into the grocery store hungry and without a plan, what happens?
You buy everything you shouldn't.
Exactly. You end up in the snack aisle. You buy a bag of neon orange chips, some exotic fruit you don't even know how to cut, and a gallon of ice cream. You just buy junk food.
It's so true.
Walking into a clothing store without a targeted list is exactly how you end up with impulsive, low-quality, fast fashion junk food that doesn't match a single thing in your closet.
It's a perfect encapsulation of the problem.
Yeah.
A targeted list functions as a psychological guardrail.
Yeah.
When you enter a store, knowing you're strictly looking for, say, a mid-weight gray wool sweater to bridge 3 specific outfits, you become immune to the flashy mannequins and the clearance rack distractions.
You have tunnel vision.
Exactly. You evaluate potential purchases based on their utility, not their novelty. Forward-thinking communities like Apparelizer heavily advocate for this shift in mindset. They actually train users to view clothing as long-term interchangeable assets rather than single-use event wear.
Okay, so we've survived the purge. We have mastered the math of the capsule wardrobe, and we're shopping strategically with our guardrails up.
Right.
But how do we ensure this beautifully curated system doesn't just, like, slowly degrade back into a chaotic mountain of laundry in 6 months?
Well, that's where systematic physical organization and digital management come into play.
Okay, lay it on me.
The first step is maintaining visual clarity. The source recommends arranging your hanging clothes by color.
By color, really?
Yeah, this isn't just for aesthetics. It drastically reduces cognitive load. If you know you need a blue shirt, your eye goes straight to one specific 6-inch section of the closet.
Oh, that makes sense. It's all about reducing the friction. Another physical tip that really stood out to me was creating a uniform look. The source highly recommends using matching hangers.
Yes, the matching hangers.
Now, I have always just used whatever chaotic mix of wire dry cleaner hangers and plastic ones I had lying around, but when you replace them all with uniform matching hangers, it instantly creates this, like, luxury boutique feel.
It really does.
It's such a tiny psychological trick, but it totally elevates the perceived value of your own clothes. You start treating your wardrobe with more respect, which, makes you less likely to carelessly throw things on the floor.
Visual harmony is a very powerful deterrent against mess. It signals to your brain that this space is a curated collection, not a long-term storage locker.
Right.
Another critical physical habit is strictly separating your off-season clothing. If it's July, your heavy wool coats and thick scarves should be entirely out of sight.
Put them in a box.
Exactly. Leaving them in your daily visual field just adds irrelevant data to your morning processing.
Out of sight, out of mind, leaving only the active players on the field. I love that. But the maintenance doesn't just stop at the physical closet anymore, does it? I mean, we're in 2026, and the professional playbook leans really heavily into the digital twin of your wardrobe.
Oh, this is where wardrobe management becomes incredibly sophisticated.
Yeah.
The source outlines the rising dominance of digital styling tools. People are physically photographing their individual items, removing the backgrounds, and uploading them into these wardrobe planning apps.
It's essentially digitizing your closet so you can literally carry it in your pocket.
Exactly. And the utility of that is massive. I mean, you can visually arrange outfits on your morning commute.
That's wild.
Right. You can track exactly how many times you've worn a specific piece, which gives you real data on your cost per wear.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, if you bought a $200 jacket and the app shows you've worn it 50 times, that jacket cost you $4 a wear. It was a great investment.
And it also prevents that completely embarrassing moment where you wear the exact same statement piece to 3 different dinners with the exact same group of friends because the app logs what you wore and when.
Yes. This raises an important question, actually, about our evolving relationship with fashion.
Okay.
By utilizing apps or engaging with platform ecosystems like Apparelizer, we are transitioning clothing from a purely physical burden into actionable digital data.
Wow, actionable data.
Yeah, users are merging the creative, expressive side of daily styling with rigorous, data-driven efficiency. It completely shatters the stereotype that fashion is inherently frivolous. When it's managed correctly, it's an optimized, highly practical pillar of your daily life.
So what does this all mean? If we step back and look at the entire arc of this professional audit, it's clear that cleaning out your closet is, well, it's so much more than just a weekend chore.
It really is.
It's a strategic investment in your daily momentum. By confronting the sheer volume of what you own, dragging it all out into the light, and ruthlessly evaluating every single piece against the reality of who you are today, you take back control.
Absolutely.
You build a capsule system that mathematically works in your favor. It saves you mental energy every single morning. It saves you money by stopping that impulsive junk food shopping. And it creates a personalized ecosystem that truly supports the life you are actively living right now.
It's about engineering clarity out of chaos. But, considering the trajectory of the digital management tools we just explored, I'm going to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Ooh, all right.
If you spend the time digitizing your capsule wardrobe, tracking your outfit combinations, and feeding your daily choices into an app, how long will it be before those underlying algorithms begin to truly understand the complex math of your personal style?
Oh, wow.
And more importantly, how long before an AI can predict exactly what your closet needs and make targeted, highly sustainable styling decisions for you significantly better than you can do for yourself?
A digital stylist that knows your evolving tastes before you even do, that is a wild frontier to think about.
It really is.
But until that algorithm fully takes over, the next time you're standing in your bedroom just staring into that intimidating sea of fabric, just remember, you don't need more options. You just need to close the tabs, clear the noise, and finally recognize the wardrobe that's already waiting for you.